Elena ran her fingers over the soft fabric of the scarf she was knitting, the rhythmic motion soothing her frayed nerves. Her apartment smelled faintly of chamomile and fresh bread from the nearby bakery. It was quiet, peaceful, a stark contrast to the chaos that had defined her life for the past 2 years. Elena's struggle wasn't born from trauma or sudden loss. It was slower, insidious, a creeping sense of disconnection from herself and the world. After leaving a demanding corporate job, she felt untethered. Her identity, once intertwined with titles, deadlines, and achievements, had dissolved, leaving her floating in uncertainty. Friends urged her to find herself, but she felt lost, floating between anxiety and inertia. The turning point came unexpectedly. One afternoon, walking past a small boutique in her neighborhood, she noticed a sign in the window. Beginner's Knitting Workshop, all levels welcome. Something in her stirred. She hadn't knit since childhood, yet the idea of sitting in a small group, creating something tangible with her hands, was oddly comforting. At the workshop, Elena struggled at first. Her fingers fumbled, stitches unraveled, and frustration threatened to overwhelm her. But the instructor, as patient guidance and the quiet atmosphere, allowed her to focus on the motion rather than the outcome. Each stitch became a meditation, each row a step toward calm. By the end of the first session, she felt a small flicker of accomplishment. She began visiting the workshop twice a week, and soon her hobby expanded beyond the classroom. She would sit at her kitchen table for hours, knitting scarves, blankets, and hats. Each creation was a tangible victory, a reminder that she could bring order to chaos, even if only through yarn and pattern. But knitting alone wasn't enough. Elena craved interaction and purpose. She joined a local co-working space for creatives, not to find therapy, but to surround herself with people who were building, creating, and striving. Conversations about design, writing, and projects slowly drew her out of isolation. She offered ideas, collaborated on small projects, and found satisfaction in contributing to something outside herself. Elena also discovered the rhythm of running. Early mornings became her sanctuary. The cool air, the sound of shoes against pavement, the beating of her own heart, it gave her a sense of presence she hadn't experienced since leaving her corporate role. Running became a ritual, a way to feel in control, to release tension, to celebrate movement rather than fear it. Gradually, Elena's life transformed in small but meaningful ways. She began selling some of her knitted creations online, creating a modest but tangible income and a sense of accomplishment. She met new friends through running groups, exchanging encouragement and shared milestones rather than complaints. Her apartment, once sterile and quiet, became vibrant with yarn, sketches, and the subtle clutter of active life. Yet her journey wasn't without setbacks. There were mornings when she felt paralyzed, when the weight of uncertainty pressed down like a lead blanket. Projects failed, patterns unraveled, friendships faltered, but she met these challenges with resilience she had cultivated through daily deliberate actions. Each step, no matter how small, reinforced the idea that she had agency over her life. The pivotal moment came when Elena organized a small knitting exhibition at the co-working space. Seeing her creations displayed, sharing them with strangers who appreciated the work, and explaining her journey from uncertainty to creation gave her a profound sense of self-validation. She realized she could weave not only fabric, but also purpose, connection, and identity into her life. Elena's story closes with her sitting at the pier where she first found peace in knitting, a scarf draped over her lap. The sunset reflects on the water, warm and golden, mirroring the transformation she feels within. The storm that once raged quietly inside her has not disappeared, but she has found ways to navigate it, to channel it into action, creativity, and connection. Her peace is not perfect, but it is real, earned, and sustainable. Elena's life illustrates that human struggle can be met with persistence, creativity, and engagement in tangible actions, and that healing can come through small victories and self-directed purpose, rather than therapy or structured interventions. For in the end, we are humans after all,